Are you ready?
Let's rock and roll.
All right.
This is Moxie coming straight from San Diego. I'm here with the shark.
Yep,
Oh my
the
God.
shark. Swimming out of the water in San Diego.
Sometimes it is just a party. We are at the convention for real estate.
What's going on with these credit cards and the points and the debit cards?
I'm peeing in my pants whenever they announce this.
People go through periods, they make a bunch of money, bank dries up. Now, based off your production, we'll give you a credit card for $25,000, $50,000.
And they mentioned points on that too.
Correct. So you're saving money as you're using it.
Girl, now we're just making money to have money.
It is completely unique. I haven't seen
unique.
this from any other brokerage.
Welcome to the Moxie and Jana Show.
I mean, we are spilling some realty up in her, okay?
So we have aptly named our little show, Spillin' Real Tea with Jana and Moxie.
Get it? Tune in and listen to us share all our crazy, wildly unbelievable crap that we see, do, and navigate in the insane world of real estate.
And we're talking everything,
Oh, the stories we will share.
literally everything, down to the fails only us real estate agents could make.
We got it all, y'all.
Straight out of KC, and we spillin' it.
Are you ready?
Let's rock and roll.
All right.
This is Moxie coming straight from San Diego. We are at the convention for real estate. And let me go ahead and tell you, sometimes it is just a party, but there is also a boatload of activity that we are learning about, which is fantastic. I'm here with Johnny.
Richardson, the shark.
Oh my
The
God.
shark.
Yes, definitely.
The shark.
Yep, swimming
Is
out of
that-
the water in San Diego and
Is that
coming up.
it?
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Absolutely.
Can I call you Mr. Shark?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
call my husband Mr. Johnson, so it's kind of like just
Yeah,
one of
there
these
you go.
two. We asked him to join us today, Mr. Johnny the Shark.
That's right.
To join us. I'll be honest, I didn't know his nickname was the Shark when I invited him to do this, so that was very new news to me.
There you
so
go.
let's just learn about each other.
Yeah, what better way to find out?
Absolutely.
On the spot.
Absolutely.
There you go. Just the way sharks are.
And
Love
then
it.
obviously we got Jana. Hi, Jana. How's
What's
Kansas?
up? It's freaking cold.
Yeah.
It's cold. Nothing,
There you go. We're all
nothing like
iced
San
up.
Diego.
So one of the things that I kind of wanted to learn and why we brought Mr. Shark on, I wanted you to just kind of expand on a couple of things.
Yeah.
You know, how did you get into the industry? What's your team look like? What's your daily kind of activities? Maybe if you wanted to go into those.
Yeah, no,
I kind of just
I'm
want
an
to use the
open book.
platform. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I got into the industry in 2017.
Okay.
So when I came in, I had no idea. A lender friend had said, Johnny, you would be amazing at real estate. And I was like, I want to sell houses. Who wants to sell houses? And eventually they convinced me I was a sales guy, car business, timeshare. And I said, I'll step off. I had an amazing career in timeshare. I said, I'll leave for a year. I'll give it a test drive. And I ended up doing 50 units my first year as an independent agent.
Hang on.
Thank you.
My
Crazy, isn't that
goodness.
crazy, right?
Golly.
Yeah, so I got in, did it, and everybody's like, holy crap, how does this happen? I'm like, well, this is what you're supposed to do, right? Sell houses and make money.
Hell yeah.
So people thought I was nuts. They're like, are you a broker? I'm like, I'm not a broker. I've been licensed for 3 months.
Oh my goodness.
So it's crazy. As I went on that first brokerage for a year, eventually a gentleman in Las Vegas where I'm out of brought me in. He's like, John, you have something other people don't. You need to start looking into building a team.
Awesome.
He's like, you have leadership qualities. You know how it's done. You have a predictable business. Now you just got to duplicate that at the end of the day. And I took a lot of where you asked as far as processes. I took processes from other industries as far as car business, as far as timeshare. And I looked at all of them and I said, okay, one, obviously customer service, follow-up's going to be super important, letter system, staying in touch with your clients, doing touches, activities, so on and so forth. And as I started to build the business, I just adapted that over. So I had to build out a strong database just from my previous clients. I think that's what people forget as they get into business. They're like, well, I'm brand new to real estate. Where do I get clients? Well, you've had friends your whole life.
Absolutely.
You've had
Hopefully.
jobs.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, where have you been? Under a rock? I'm like, you know thousands of people. People just don't think. So I was like, all right, number one, a database. That's super easy. I did open houses out the gazoo my first year because I said, if I'm going to be calling all day, I might as well be in an open house. Now, the funny thing was, as I started, if you looked at my desk looked like that scene in Bruce Almighty with the sticky notes that were like thousands. It was hot, cold, warm, hot, cold, warm. So when I went to that second company, he's like, look, we're going to introduce you to tech. We're going to give you a CRM. We're going to clean you up. And you're going to start bringing people in your business and then show them what you're doing.
Wow.
Now my day-to-day, take it 5 years later-ish, 5.5, I run elite training programs for the agents, for high-performing real estate agents. I run a boot camp that's called Shark Week. That's a 7-day boot camp. As I enroll people in, that's going to teach them the basics from top to bottom, building a database, getting out doing open houses, making 175 contacts per week, having real estate conversations on a daily basis, and making face-to-face appointments every single day. So I created these standards because in any business that's successful, you have to have standards, you have to have accountability, and I implemented all that into my business. I really don't think real estate's that hard at the end of the day. It's just hard for people to stay consistent.
100%.
Yeah, and it's also hard for people to know the systems. I'll be honest, her and I talk about systems, and I'm over here like, I don't have any. And then she points out that I do, and I'm like, maybe I'm not that.
Well, that
big
is
of
a system.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, maybe. But to have those systems, like to have that solid boot camp is so important when you're trying to start a team and recruit to a team, attract to anywhere. You know, you have to have those good systems in place. So another thing that I wanted to know, this is an interesting one because I'm always intrigued by people for this one. Why did you join Real?
Well, I joined Real. It wasn't intentional, number one.
Oh, well, just
it did happen. So I'll tell you what happened. I was at an event for Renee Rodriguez. Renee teaches people to speak from stage. I spoke from stage, but the lessons he taught me and how to be very intentional with your message were amazing. In that meantime, I was invited to this event. I was doing about 100 deals a year at that time, and I was surrounded by really big producers doing 500, 600, 700. And I'm like, holy crap, this is a crazy room. And Spring Benson was in that room. So I end up falling in love with Spring and her attitude.
Because everybody falls in love with
I know, she's amazing.
I mean, she is phenomenal.
She is. She ended up being one of my besties. We didn't join forces right away. She was great at creating a relationship. How can I help you? How can I support you? So I looked at it and I said, you know what? Here's this person not in my company, offering a helping hand at all times. And that's what I found out with Real, period. People are very helpful, putting out their hands. How can I assist you? Regardless if we work together or not. And if these are people leading from the front, if they're want to go out and help you while you're not even with them, what's it like when you're with them?
Right.
You know what I mean? The previous company I was with, it was more pay to play. You know, they had a lot available, but you're paying extra for this, extra for this, extra for this, extra for this. And I'm just like, holy crap, man, they're tapping my bank account.
Yeah,
every
I'm learning
day.
stuff. Yeah, every day. But on the Real side of everything, completely different animal. I said, that's it, let's roll.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say I wish I would have, because I said, if I stick this out and just wait and see, I don't want to turn around 2-3 years later like, holy crap, I wish I would have grabbed those 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I said, after about 6 months of entertaining and spending time with her, I said, let's roll one day.
Yeah,
Let's go
that's
for
cool.
it. That's what happened.
Is that what you're
So,
seeing,
Jana,
just really quickly, is that what you're seeing in terms of like your ramp up time, your attraction timeline? Is it taking like 3 to 6 months to kind of get really well connected with people and really find out what it is you can do to help them? Is that kind of what that looks like for your guys?
Mine was longer because that previous company, I wasn't with that long. It wasn't intentional for me to leave. I was doing well. But what I see a lot of times, I'd say 30 days is a pretty solid window. You know, you develop a relationship, get in front of somebody, add value. By then, that's the norm for the most part, the average. But it's normally not 6 months. I was an odd case.
I joke because it took me, a year and 3 months, Moxie?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. There you
I was like, am I an anomaly?
go. I see the glasses there, so you might be a little bit more technical. And those people definitely move slower.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
Very accurate.
That does, definitely.
So Jana, you're not here. So I want to know what questions you want to know from us that are at the conference, because there's been some things, my goodness. And I know that you've got some nugget emails maybe. And I'll be honest, I have not read a single email since I've been here. So I don't know what they're actually putting happening out. So I want to know what you want to know.
Well, so I'm one of the brokers for the state of Missouri and Kansas. So I'm on the broker team for our 2 states. And I've had so many agents reaching out to me going, Jana, can you tell me anything about these debit cards? What's going on with these credit cards and the points and and all that? I'm like, I don't know yet. So I would love to hear more about the announcements that you guys have heard there, kind of like the high level, really exciting stuff, just to kind of share with me so I can share with other people too.
Okay, I want to talk about the debit cards, and I'm going to let him talk about the credit cards.
Absolutely.
Okay, as you know, there are 9 ways to get paid here at Real. And please, Shark, correct me if I'm
you're
wrong,
fine.
Okay?
No, you're 100%.
I'm
Path.
not as technical as this pretty girl.
Okay, so, there you go.
There are 9 ways to get paid, and in all of the ways that you can get paid, the thing that they're going to start rolling out is you can actually put your commissions, rev share, whatever you get, you can actually put those into essentially their bank, and then you can use a debit card to go and purchase it. It's an actual real debit card. It's so cool. But here was the kicker, okay? Here's the reason I was in love. You can then get points when you use the debit card. Those points can get applied to any fee that you have associated with Real, which, by the way, isn't much anyways, but even like a transaction fee.
But either way, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're, say, a few $100 here, a few $100 there, it all adds up.
You're going to pay for it
Especially if
anyways.
you're doing 100, 150 transactions, you might as well.
And you're going to pay for crap anyways, so you may as well use their debit card, right? I'm stoked about it. I'm peeing in my pants whenever they announce this.
Let's not do that.
And then they dropped this bomb that I could not believe. So please.
So as far as the credit card goes, I love this idea when they talked about the credit card because, number one, it is what it is. If you're in leadership, working with agents or side-by-side partners, people go through periods, whatever it might be, to where it's like they make a bunch of money, take a back seat, come back, bank dries up. The roller coaster effect, which in leadership, that's what we're always working at avoiding.
Right.
It's never a perfect process. Now, if you were somebody based off your production, let's say whatever your production's at, X, I'm just going to use odd numbers here, like, hey, we'll give you a credit card for $25,000, $50,000. So when you hit those bumps in the road, holidays are right around the corner. Christmas is coming up. You want to do something amazing for your spouse. Well, guess what? Deal flow's a little bit lighter, and you pick up in January. Now you have that credit card based off your production. You can swipe that credit card. Now there are brokerages out there. It's awesome because some brokerages will do advancements depending on who you're with. Most people out there that can get an advance from their broker, they're very embarrassed. They don't want to go have that conversation.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're like, I got to put my tail between my legs and tell my boss I haven't made enough calls. Something's coming up, a birthday, an anniversary. I need this money. Now you avoid all that. Now you have this credit card based off you being a producer, whatever level you're at, to where you can go ahead and use that. I mean,
that's pretty phenomenal. Yeah.
And they mentioned points on that too.
Correct. You can get points on the debit card.
Yeah.
And then you can also do points on the credit card as well. Same thing towards your broker's fees.
Yeah.
So you're saving money as you're using it. If you need an advance or anything else, you can go ahead and do that and leverage it towards your commissions. I mean, plus also how you run your business or how your finances look like with the debit card, you got it all in one spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether you have a spouse you share a card with or whatever, honey, we just got paid, go do your thing, whatever it is, go out and get a new dress, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
And here's the other thing. I forgot to tell you about the debit card. I totally forgot about this. They're going to figure out a way that any money that is in the bank that they're using that you don't use through the debit card, they're going to figure out a way to give you interest on that as well. So you can make interest on the money that you're not taking out. Let's say you get a $7,000 commission, you put it all in their bank, you're not using the debit card, you let it sit for a little while, and that occurs interest. Girl, now we're just making money to have money. I don't know. I know it's simple. I'm not saying we're out here going to get rich on it, but I thought, what a thoughtful thing for a brokerage to do with their agents directly in mind.
Well, and not just thoughtful, but it is completely unique. No, I haven't seen this from any other brokerage offering opportunities like this.
They don't entertain things like this. No. It just doesn't out on the table.
Unless it fits in the box.
Yes. Exactly.
I love that we don't do that. I love that we think outside the box. We're a creative group. Very much.
heavily outside the box. Yeah. Actually, one of the things that the three non-real brokers that were here talked about, they were like, yeah, you guys are just different. I go to an XYZ conference and I'm basically showing people how to use their phone and you guys are all out here content creating. And I was like, heck yeah, we are.
Yes,
I love it.
absolutely.
Yeah, pretty cool thing.
I
But
love it.
okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is the health insurance. This morning, I actually got a request from someone about, hey, call me if you want the MLS health insurance quote, right?
Love all
That's
those
cool.
text messages.
Yeah, except for I've called them and they're $900 to $1,000 a month. You know, that they're just so freaking expensive.
Definitely not discount.
So not discount. Girl, I looked at this one for me and my husband. It was 50% less than what I was currently paying and what I was getting quoted through our local MLS, which I am grateful that they're at least offering something through our local MLS. But how blessed are we?
Oh, we are, absolutely.
He said, we've been working on this for 6 months all the time to make sure we got the right rates.
Yes.
We got the right partnerships, the right company. And I talked to him and the guy, you know, maybe he's saying this, I hope it's true. He said, we are the largest network of doctors in the entire insurance industry. He's like, you get hurt in Podunk, Iowa, we probably got a doctor there for you.
Covered.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you and I have kind of talked about the savings that could potentially happen. You had the same experience, right? With your
Mine was a
price
third.
of what you're
A third.
Wow.
For me and the kids. Yeah.
I mean, think about how many people want to get into real estate. They have families, they have a spouse, and they're like, I would love to do that, but I work at a casino. I have all these benefits. Now I got to go into full commission, but now I have a family. God forbid if, you know, my son breaks his leg in soccer, you know what I mean? Now you have a company that'll come forward, provide health insurance benefits to where you don't have to worry about that stuff, and it's an easier transition on top of everything else. I mean, that's phenomenal. I guarantee if you asked enough people, there's enough out there didn't move forward into this industry because they were scared of that one item. Because that's scary, running around with nothing.
One of the things, too, that they suggested, and I thought this was phenomenal, and I'm sorry, there's an airplane flying. Y'all are just going to have to deal with it.
Beautiful San Diego. That's what you get.
Yeah. One of the things that they suggested that I may implement on the Sold with Real Moxie team is if you are a high enough producer on the team, I will pay for your health insurance. And I don't know of another team across anything that's going to pay for a independent contractor's health insurance in that capacity. Yeah, no. So that's something that I'm going to start saying to people that are interested in being on the team. And, you know, I want to provide value. If this company is going to provide value to me, I want to do nothing but pass that on to everybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and I think another big thing, too, is that the health insurance is available to your staff as well. So your unlicensed staff could be part of the health network also, which I think is really awesome. No one's doing that for sure.
Being a business owner, you can just get crushed in health insurance.
Yeah.
If you have as W-2 employees and everything else, that's a huge piece to leverage right now.
Yeah.
It definitely.
Absolutely.
Huge plus.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot of exciting stuff going on in the new year.
It is.
I'm loving it.
I'm stoked. We still have one more session to do, so y'all aren't going to hear everything, but I thought this was cool. I just wanted to make sure we got on here and talked about some stuff.
Absolutely.
Anything exciting happening in Kansas City that we need to know about?
Lord, no. There's nothing exciting happening here. It's raining outside. It's cold. Okay? That's what's happening. No yachts, no parties, no neon. Sitting in my house.
Oh my goodness. Well, you might as well start it. Get some champagne glass.
Cry me a river. I know. You're like, oh, okay. No, but Johnny, I would love to know a little bit more about you and your business. Like you mentioned, you have a team of about 13 people. Like that's a lot of lives, right? To have depending on you and your systems, right? So tell me a little bit about what that's like for you as a team leader.
Yeah. So as far as we have 13, then we have in-house, we have an ops manager. We have a listing TC, we have a buyer's TC, and then we have an international team as well. So as far as how that goes. And you'll see a mixture within my group. And that's why you see where I have elite classes and I have beginner classes and everything in the middle that we have. Because I hire everybody, because how do you know what success looks like? You really don't know. I'll give you an example. I brought in an 18-year-old kid, 3 months out of high school, almost didn't hire him. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, what am I getting into? Let's give him a shot. Kid ends up with 5 escrows in 45 days.
Hell yes.
He was a sponge. So we have scripting classes. We have the Shark Week that I mentioned. And why tell everybody when they come into my operation, when they come in, I say, here's the thing. If you're going to be coachable, if you're going to show up when I tell you to show up, you will be successful in my operation. Now, if you're not coachable, which is sometimes why I defer from the 10-year, 15-year, it's kind of hard to teach old dogs new tricks. Not all the time, but it does happen. I've seen it. And if somebody walks in with those 2 traits, they will do amazing. This kid was there 2 weeks, waiting on his license come in. I hit him on scripting, and I'm like, he's going to drop the ball. Verbatim knows the scripts. Be it everybody else in the office that's been there a year. I'm like, holy smokes. So we put together the process and the format as far as scripting, as far as the boot camp. I built an online training program, Direct Real Estate VT with Brad Lee. So this is something they dive into right away. And what it does is it teaches them the basics and fundamentals in scripting as well. And it's interactive, so it'll do testing. Now that's one piece. It's good to do that, but you still have to do the live stuff with people and go back and forth. Then another part, because I'm in Vegas, we get people that are casino, restaurant workers. They're not really salespeople, they're more order takers. Then we have Cardone University as well, teaching them sales basics, languages, how to go ahead and handle objections. I'm a big sales guy, so I'm really big on this stuff as far as being able to handle a conversation, articulate it. What does your tonality look like? What does your body language look like? What you'll hear me if you came into my office, what I really train on first is I'm going to start with mindset. We just heard a gentleman speak, Justin Roth, where he talked a lot about health. I lead with that stuff first because, I mean, when I was heard it, I was like, man, I feel like I'm in my office right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I was like, your health, your mindset, that's always going to come first because that's your foundation. Everything else is going to come second. So if you get somebody in and just picture it like they're a bad egg, their mindset's messed up, they're never really going to adapt or anything else. So I'm super big on those items as far as that goes. So that's what you'll hear a lot in my operation. That's what attracts people to my operation. It's my social media content, the Shark JR on IG. If you watch it, a lot of it's mindset, self-development, working on yourself. How are you becoming a better version of yourself on a daily basis? Am I a better version today than I was yesterday? And always progressing a little bit more.
Can I be you when I grow up?
No shit.
I love to.
Holy. Do you hear this guy?
Yeah, no shit. I love it.
They say surround yourself with people that are better than you. I mean, come on. I don't have anything on this guy,
we do it together.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'm really excited to hear about that. And I love the fact that you have an actual system built into your onboarding process. So you get those expectations out in front. You're talking through all of the different processes and you're training them on it. And it's your dime. I'm a part of Cardone University also. It's not a cheap system. It's not a cheap training, but it is phenomenal. So I love that you do that for your people. That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. The ones that want it, they're going to get it all day long.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm a big believer in intrinsic motivation is like the baseline. You've got to at least have some level of motivation in and of yourself. You're not looking for someone to pump you up, but give you the tools.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's all about passion at the end of the day. Most people wait for motivation to get up and go, and motivation washes off like a shower. But the one that's really passionate and dialed in, and I want this for my family, and this is my process, they do succeed. Yeah. I mean, I don't wake up motivated every day, but I'm still going to end up at the gym. I'm still going to read. I'm still going to work on my mindset. I'm still going to work on my business. But you can have that passion in you and that push to go ahead and get more and be a better version. I mean, you're unstoppable at the end of the day.
I love it. My favorite line, and Moxie's going to cringe when I say this, my favorite line from 10X Rule is don't be a little bitch. It's my favorite. Get out there and do it. Don't be a little bitch.
That is great.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. Well, what other nuggets are you guys bringing back to your teams from the conference? What else can you tell us about it?
I mean, Justin Roth, who I just mentioned, it's a huge one as far as that goes right there. It definitely is. And you've heard it a lot throughout this convention as far as, and not to keep bringing it back to mindset, at the end of the day, all of us are capable of doing more. I mean, you heard Sharon talk about it several times. And I tell myself when I go home, I'm like, all right, did I play at a level 10 or where was I at? Where could I push the needle a little bit more? No, 100%. Also, this morning, he had talked about what your 5-star people look like. Are you spending time with the right people? Are they a 1-star? Are they 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star? You know what I mean? Think about
that.
it. We spend time with people. We want to be nice to people. We want to be nice to everybody. Well, we're running a business here. You want to be in front of those 5-star people. Good communication. They're putting referrals in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
They're providing value and you're bringing value to them. It's reciprocating on both sides of it.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the problem with some agents as they get started. They're confused. They think they're talking to people and they're being effective. You got to be spending time with the right people.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
And let me go ahead and tell you, that was definitely something that I was like,
Yeah.
I can tell over the last 12 months, I've definitely pulled back from those higher level people that I was hanging out with. And it's not from any reason. You know what's been going on with me for the last 12 months. So I'm finally getting back to Moxie's back again. I definitely was on the struggle bus for the last 12 months. But like I said, we're here again. So I was feeling that this morning when they were like, but who are you surrounding yourself with? And I was like, oh no, that's not, I did not like that feeling because I am always about, I want to be the dumbest person in the room. I want to be the one that's being educated by these, oh my gosh, I feel about this big sitting next to this guy, not just because he's muscles, but he's phenomenal. But that's what I need to be surrounded by in order to pull that from people so that I can move my needle forward. Yeah. And that definitely this morning, I was like, uh-oh, Mox, it's time to
level it up.
Girl, it's time. Yep. I took my year off. I kept my head above water. I'm here now. So that was really cool. And it's, it's fun to come to these conferences because you can level up when you're here if you do it the right way.
Can I just say that she considered taking a year off as doing 9 million all by yourself, taking the year off.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a little different than somebody else's year off. Somebody else's year off, they're off in the beach or Bahamas and doing nothing.
Which don't get me wrong. If somebody wanted to take me to the beach or the Bahamas, I'd go.
Yeah. You're like, when? Are we? Hey, let's go.
I know. I'll do it. Okay. Has Alex Hormozi talked yet? Has he done his...
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about that. How is that?
So, what was interesting with Alex, and it's such a simple thinking process. He's like, most people call it for what it is. They're working on a project, whatever it might be, and they're doing things wrong versus they're like, well, how do I figure it out and bottleneck and everything else? He's like, just break it down to a simple formula. Well, obviously, this is the wrong way and just simply reverse that at the end of the day. And you're going to go into the right direction is what's going to happen. And I talked to somebody about this over the last 24 hours. I'm like, you overthink everything. What if this? What if that? What if this? Just keep it and simplify it. And Alex is, technical right there. That's funny. And he was very simple as far as the way he described things as far as that goes. And he's been very successful, not to downplay him, but you could tell as far as his thought process goes is not complicating things.
Yeah, no, very simple.
Yeah, very simple.
Yeah.
I mean, he went through 222 slides in the matter of 60 minutes. I mean, other people would... Or I was like, man, that was 222. That was pretty impressive.
And it was concise. It was, you never got lost in the whole conversation. No. He was amazing.
I listen to his podcast regularly. And one of the things that I really like that him and Grant have a very similar philosophy on this in terms of things don't happen to you. They happen because of you. You know what I mean? You're an active participant in your life and in your business. And if you're not, then you just need to get the fuck out. I like that. I love that. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I listen to him a lot and his wife as well. She's amazing. She wasn't here today. But one of the things that they didn't say on this particular stage, but it dialed into me is a lot of people get caught up in stress and frustration and everything else. And they had talked about they'll give a meeting stressed and frustrated because most people are feeding it. Why am I stressed? Why am I frustrated? Why am I bottlenecking? Why? Instead, what he had talked about was just lean into it, accepting it for what it is, and you almost can literally have a feeling like it's passing through your body and just rolling with it because you'll never make it disappear.
Yeah.
The more you get, on a project like today's talking about, frustrated, annoyed, overthinking, you're feeding the fire versus just leaning into it, reversing the direction and accepting it for what it is, and it figures itself out. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's powerful right there.
I love that.
Because that's also you coming to the stress with a solution instead of adding to the problem.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
is what most do.
Yeah, and the solution is I'm going to lean into this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to lean into it. I don't have to understand it fully, but I'm going to lean into it and work through it. And that, to me, is the only way, especially as a newer agent, that you can sometimes survive this business.
Yeah.
Because if you are getting freaked out because you have one deal that's completely blown up and insane and you're engulfed in it and you don't know what to do and this is your whole thing, and especially if it's your first deal, you're out. You're out. And that's hard to learn, how to just embrace that stress, embrace those. Girl, I was getting yelled at before 5:45 this morning.
No.
Okay, via email, then the phone call, and the phone call turned into, "Are you going to let me speak or not?" And you know what? They let me speak because that was the right.
Oh, you said that. That wasn't said to you.
Said. Oh, Moxie said that. Are you going to let me speak or not? But let me tell you, it didn't ruin my day. Right?
So there you go.
I pushed through it. It's a problem. My solution was, here we go. We're just going to move through it and let this day be okay. And that took a lot of agents a long time.
It does. I've seen it. And I won't lie. I did it in the very beginning.
Oh, me too.
And I talked to I'm like, look, you got one deal that's on fire. It might go upside down. Here's the bad thing. God forbid it does fall apart. You are so stressed and caught up in this, you will miss the next deal.
Yep.
You'll miss that next hot client because they're coming to you and you're so fogged and stressed out about this. You cannot get stressed out, frustrated. You continue with the process and then you keep your eyes open because there are other deals coming.
Yeah.
I mean, it will. I mean, one of two things will happen. You'll go through and you're going to want to drink a bottle of vodka by the time it's done and be hungover for 4 or 5 days. That's one. Or you're going to lose the deal and lose any possible referrals. So just lean into it.
Yeah.
You know, stick with the process, leverage your leadership at the end of the day to help you. Don't be afraid to ask for help and keep your eye open and asking for referrals. Because even if it does get a little quirky, then by the time you come to the end zone with that person or get close to it, people are so thankful. Hey, you know what, Jana, you were so excited. We pulled it together. Let me ask you a question. Who's that next person you know looking to buy a house in the next 30 days? Who is it? They're so excited you fulfilled that. Don't miss that opportunity. And I forget who it was said it from stage on this. He's lived his business, his life by the next one.
Yes.
He said just one. So if you always focus on that and you don't get caught up in all the craziness in the deal and you're getting that one referral living from one deal to the next, you'll never be broke in this business.
Yep, for real. Yeah. What is your first next step? And just keep going.
Yep.
Just keep going. Yeah. I love that. I love that so much.
Well, I know that this was way more agent-based than consumer-based. We still love you, consumers. Thank you for watching. You guys know we love you. We did want to do this a little more agent-based just because we're here at the conference and
Makes
we're so
sense.
dang excited.
Yes.
So I just want to know, what do you tell people whenever they're like, oh my gosh, what are you guys talking about? Credit cards? Debit cards? What is this stuff? I don't want to be like, hey, you want to come? Like,
oh, yeah. As far as that goes, well, I tell you what, number one, reach out to us with any questions. We'll always help. Number two, at the same time, is we're expanding across the U.S., Canada, everything else. So if any of this, the credit cards interest you, the debit cards, the health insurance, any of that, you're getting into real estate. You've been in real estate, reach out to us, Moxie or myself, because chances are we're actually expanding into a town next to you as well.
And we want to do this with you.
Yep, that's what it's about. It's about partnering with good people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
I love it.
We're going to go learn some more.
Go do,
There you go.
Go do the do.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
We know you're probably potty watching or avoiding doing something domestic today, and we're glad you found us instead.
If you've got a crazy real estate story to share,
Burning questions you want the real tea spilt on,
or maybe you want to sponsor our little production, we want to hear from you. Shoot us an email so that we can collaborate. And until next time, guys,
we'll be a hot mess, and you keep doing you, boo-boo.
make it a great day.